Next on Good Morning El Paso, two different tuberculosis investigations in the borderland. New numbers from an elementary school and now a new scare at a halfway house where anyone who's been inside should be tested.
Also, the county judge is talking to ABC7 about the payments El Paso Children's Hospital just started making to the county hospital.
And from around the clock news team, a body found in downtown early this morning. El Paso police trying to determine what happened.
No amount of military force will end the terror that is ISIL unless it's matched by a broader effort, political and economic.
And a key update in the fight against terrorists after President Obama meets with Pentagon leaders. We'll have the latest.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Rise and shine, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. Good morning. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Floren. Good morning, everyone. ABC7 First Alert coverage coming up right now. Let's go ahead and get to our storm track weather and First Alert coverage.
This is a live look outside from our exclusive mountain cam on top of the Franklin Mountains. We are getting some rain in the borderland this week. You can see those clouds hanging over the borderland this morning. Let's send things over to Crystal for a look at our forecast. Hi, Crystal.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Okay, so we normally don't guarantee rain chances, and we still can't do that because Mother Nature sometimes likes to toy with us. But if we were going to guarantee things, this would be a very good forecast for it. Over the next few days, chances of rain really increase. So by the end of your work week, most of us should see a good hit of rain move on by, at least for a small period of time. Let's start with a look at our clouds and radar right now. We've got some spotty rain still on the board over parts of Otero County and right near parts of Grant County, moving into Sierra County near the Gila. Not a lot of action, though, for the lower elevations. Deming through Las Cruces, El Paso, just some scattered clouds. It's later this afternoon and particularly tonight, those chances of rain really kick up into high gear. That's why we're under a first alert. As for your temperatures, we're at 75 in El Paso and 70 Las Cruces, 64 for us in Silver City, and Guadalupe Pass, you are at 63 degrees. So with rain chances increasing, do temperatures start to drop? We're going to talk about that, and we'll talk more about how good those chances of rain really are coming up in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Crystal. New this morning from our new Around the Clock news team, El Paso police are investigating right now how a man died downtown. His body was discovered by two people who were walking near Oregon Street early this morning. Police told our round-the-clock news team that they do not know if the man was hit by a car or if he could have committed suicide. We'll update you with the latest developments as soon as they become available.
There's been yet another possible case of a tuberculosis exposure here in El Paso. This time it's at a halfway house in central El Paso. Dismas Charities is located on the 7,000 block of Alameda near Escalante Park. The Department of Health held a news conference earlier yesterday, and they say 200 adults have been identified as possibly being exposed to an active case of TB. The active case was reported on June 24th and involves a person associated with the facility. 170 people have already been tested, and results are expected by early next week. 139 of those were residents, 36 were staff members. Meanwhile, the health department also gave us an update on the possible exposure at Frank Macias Elementary in Horizon City. Someone at the school had active tuberculosis. We're told 155 students and staff have been tested so far. 8 have yet to be located. Of those tested, 35 tested positive, 29 children and 6 adults. But this does not mean those cases are active. More tests will need to be done. Tuberculosis is a treatable bacterial disease that is spread through active cases when someone sneezes or coughs. We've learned more about those symptoms at yesterday's news conference.
There would be fatigue, rapid weight loss, and significant weight loss, and then with pulmonary TB, very active coughing. So you would expect that if somebody had those symptoms, exhibited all of those symptoms, then there would be a greater likelihood in a situation like this of conversion.
Our coverage continues right now at KVIA.com. There you'll learn more about the symptoms and details on how it's spread. Also, the difference between a latent TB infection and TB disease and how and when you should get tested. That's all at KVIA.com.
City Manager Tommy Gonzalez presented to City Council his proposed fiscal year 2016 city budget yesterday. There are four main things causing a tax increase. There's the pay and health insurance for firefighters voters approved, paying the debt and maintenance of quality of life bond projects, paying off that big street improvement plan the city took on years ago, and another thing driving up taxes for many, the fact that others are going to pay less. In 2011, the City Council increased the tax exemption from $30,000 to $40,000 for disabled and senior residents effective 2016. So now 36% of property owners qualify for a tax decrease, and the rest of the taxpayers will have to make up the difference. The city says it saved $3.5 million restructuring positions, but it's also investing in 25 additional police cadets, a downtown police patrol, and 15 more 911 operators to improve response times. If you're the average El Paso homeowner, here's how it looks. Your city taxes would go up by about $42. And for the senior and disabled residents who will see a tax decrease, your taxes would go down by about $40. Now, this is all preliminary, of course. The city will vote on a final budget coming up next month. Meanwhile, the county judge is talking to ABC7 about the payments El Paso Children's Hospital just started making to the county hospital.
The good news is that for UMC, the bleeding has stopped.
Well, Veronica Escobar is also talking about the first filings the county will make in the children's bankruptcy since mediation between the two failed last week. Coming up a little later, we'll have more details about what Escobar says the county is considering now.
New this morning, an update to a story that we've been following since yesterday. The case of the roaming German Shepherd who made its way to the border highway. Well, we spoke with a woman who says it's her dog who's been missing for more than a month. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas joins us live with this story. Denise.
Good morning, Stephanie. As a dog owner myself, it was nerve-wracking to watch Toby, yes, that's his name, somehow make his way through the border highway. Well, we spoke with his owner who gave us this picture of the German Shepherd. She says he's an incredibly smart dog and doesn't know why he escaped. So if you missed it Monday morning, TxDOT traffic cameras followed Toby for about 45 minutes as he made his way through the eastbound lanes of the border highway between Paisano and Fonseca. His owner says last month Toby was taken to a family friend's home for a few days when he escaped. So take a look as he kind of stayed on the shoulder of the highway, at times looking both ways in both directions of traffic. It is likely TxDOT followed him for so long because it was a potential traffic hazard. Even El Paso police trying to catch up to him, but had no luck. Toby's owner says he's irreplaceable.
Just weren't going to give up looking for him, and so when we heard that he was on the news, I mean, it's very emotional. We just want Toby home.
And another look at Toby. This woman saying that was her German Shepherd on the border highway. He was last seen in south central El Paso around Delta and Paisano. And Castillo doesn't live too far from that area. She says that her and her family have been walking around hoping to find him. And this story has had a lot of people talking. Hillary, you also posted a photo of another German Shepherd who went missing over the weekend, and it got more than 200 shares. So a lot of people hoping to be reunited with their own pets.
That's right, because they're saying maybe that could be their dog on the interstate as well, and also other families have said, oh, we're missing a German Shepherd also, and so this opened up this whole community of people who have lost dogs and then others who found them, and so hopefully we can reunite them like Denise said.
Yeah, and our viewers can always check our Facebook page. I know a lot of people were posting pictures of missing German Shepherds and even just missing pets, so take a look. You might find yours that is roaming the city of El Paso.
Yeah, hopefully we can use our website for that, or KVIA.com, our Facebook page for sure.
Right, and it's good to point out that if you do find the dog, to take it to a shelter. That way they can scan it for a microchip so it can be reunited with the proper owner.
Exactly. Okay. Thanks so much, Denise. And let's take a live look at traffic right now. Speaking of, this is I-10 and Americas. Another live look. Things moving fine.
Well, President Obama says the fight against the Islamic State and similar terrorist groups will take years, even decades. ABC's Bazi Kanani is in Washington with more on this story developing now.
Military leaders say this was one of the most intense assaults on ISIS fighters in Syria so far. The airstrikes over the weekend targeting the terrorist group's supply lines. But after a rare visit to the Pentagon Monday, President Obama stressed the fight against ISIS will take more than coalition firepower.
No amount of military force will end the terror that is ISIL, unless it's matched by a broader effort. political, and economic.
The commander-in-chief said more must be done to recruit and train Syrians for the ground fight against ISIS. Right now, fewer than 100 are being trained by the U.S., and the battle will also be waged online.
We also have to acknowledge that ISIL has been particularly effective at reaching out to and recruiting vulnerable people around the world, including here in the United States.
The president said there will be increased efforts to counter ISIS propaganda spreading through the world via social media, pointing to this example, the attack on a Mohammed cartoon contest in Texas by two men believed to have been inspired by ISIS recruiters. Warning the fight against ISIS will be long, President Obama insisted the U.S. will not fail.
Every time, every generation, our nation has risen to the moment. We don't simply endure, we emerge stronger than before, and that will be the case here.
The president also warned of the increased threat from small terror cells or so-called lone wolf terrorists who are much harder for authorities to track. Bazi Kanani, ABC News, Washington.
Still ahead here on Good Morning El Paso today.
Residents in La Union, New Mexico complaining about flooding and the culprit behind that running water.
Also, it seems even the water is not enough to keep cool this summer. What people in one city are dealing with this morning.
And meteorologist Crystal Clay is talking about some rain chances in our forecast. Crystal.
That's right, we're under a first alert because of it. We're going to take a look at that threat tracker coming up right after your break.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.